This is Joy. She is a 12-year-old quarter horse mare, and I'm going to show you guys what I've done with her. And she came from our December auction. She was completely wild, unhandled, and just in the last month or so we started working with her, and she's really made a lot of progress. So I'll show you guys what I've done. At first it was just for the first week or so, it was just basic leading. And I like to step a lot towards her, so she has to move out of my way. So I can do like that right hand turn. There we go. I like that she's crossing over in her front end. Good girl. And then I'll do a lot of stopping and just asking her to back up with very little pressure. It's all from the pressure on her chest rather than pulling on her nose. So I'll step towards her. Good girl. So that turn and step towards her is just her cue to back. And then if she doesn't back, I'll give her a little tap on the chest, and then she'll do it. Good girl. So I think this is only day 9 of working with her, like with leading. I've done some round pen work too. And we just started doing a little bit of lunging. This is only day 3 of trying to lunge. She's very relaxed. Good girl. She picked it up pretty quickly. What I'll do is I'll just step towards their hip and drive them forward and let them figure out the circle. I'm not gonna stand still in the middle. I'm gonna keep my feet moving while she's moving her feet to show her where she needs to go. Good girl. Good girl. And I give her that little kissy voice to join up. Good girl. Then I can change direction. It's a little bit more complicated this direction because it is her right side, and she gets a little bit more nervous on it. But that means I just have to do a little bit more on this side than the other side when I do it. There we go. So I'm going to keep stepping towards her hip. And if she needed more, I could always pick up a lunge whip and drive her forward. But she does pretty good on my voice commands and my body language. Girl. Good girl. We've also done some obstacles, so I'm going to take her out and show you guys some of the obstacles I've done with her. Girl. I think on day 4 or 5, I was able to take her outside for the first time. And she really enjoyed that rather than just staying in the barn and leading. And the first obstacle I did was our bridge, which she did very well. Good girl. So I'll go over that a couple times. Good girl. Good girl. And I'm going to do those right hand turns as much as I can. Good girl. Oh, there we go. As you can see, she's not too concerned about it. And the next thing I do is the gazebo, and then I get her prepped for trailer loading with that. Because you can see it's a higher step, and then I can work on a little bit of backing off of it. Good girl. Just like how you would back off a trailer. Good girl. Good girl. Back, 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 back. Good girl. So that's an easy way to get her used to trailer loading. And then the next is our water obstacle. And this one's a little bit more difficult. because not all the horses want to get wet. As you can see, she's gonna dance around it. So what I'm looking for to start is just to get one foot on there, and then I'll release the pressure. Good girl. There we go, good girl. So even though she moved, I'm still gonna release the pressure because she stepped one foot on it, and that just lets her know that that was the answer I was looking for. Good girl. There we go. Good girl. And then she finally gave it, so I'm not gonna ask her to I'm gonna give her the reward of the release of pressure. And then I'll ask her to come over again. Good girl. There we go. So I'm gonna let her stand for a second. Good girl. And then I'll keep walking through it. And if I wanted to make this obstacle easier, I would take the water out. But because I've done it without the water before, it was time to start it with the water. Good girl. Because I know she did well without the water in it. And if I wanted to make it even easier out of that, I could fold this in half so it's smaller and they don't have such a big area to walk into. Good girl. There you go. Good girl. So I'll release the pressure and just let her stand there for a minute. Good girl. Take her through some puddles. Good girl. She takes everything pretty well. She does get frustrated sometimes, but then she'll work through it. She can be a little herd bound, but I like to keep her in the stall sometimes alone and away from her friends, just so that way she has to get used to not being with them. And then this is one of the other things I've been doing with her, is just working on throwing my lead rope over her. And she's taken that pretty well. At first she would jump around a lot, but then she started being able to stand still and get used to it, and which is what I'm looking for. And if she were to dance right now, I'm just gonna keep holding the lead rope there until she stops, and then I'll pull it off and I'll do it again. Good girl. And then I can do the same thing from the other side. Good girl. I've also done a lot of tying with her. I'll leave her tied for quite a while at a time, probably about 20 or 30 minutes, just being able to stand there without me right there. So that way she can get used to it, and it also helps when she pulls back, she'll feel the pressure and she gives to it. Good girl. When she does that, I'll hold it. Good, and then I pull it off. I'll do it over again. There we go. You can see she's starting to stand now. Good girl. And that's Joy. Like, she's been here, she's the longest one that's been here because she came in December. She's the last one from 2020. So we're hoping that someone will adopt her soon, and then she can get her new home and progress even further with her new person.